Have you ever stopped to think about how we keep our most important crops, the ones that feed all of us, from getting weaker over time? Well, the answer is this amazing technique that's literally been around for thousands of years. Today, we're going to dive into the ancient art of mass selection.
I mean, seriously, since the very beginning of farming, it's been a nonstop battle. You've got farmers fighting pests, droughts, diseases, all just to keep our food supply going. The biggest challenge has always been keeping the crops we rely on healthy and strong. So, here's the big question. Let's say you've got this absolute superstar crop. It's perfect. But then, what do you do when it starts to go downhill? When it gets weaker and less reliable year after year? To really get our heads around this, we're going to look at a specific case study. It's about a famous wheat variety called AUK 2019. This wheat was a true champion, but as we'll see, even champions can have a fall from grace. Okay, so AUK 2019 was a total rock star. We're talking high protein, which is great for nutrition, really heavy grains, which means a better harvest, and it was naturally resistant to rust, a nasty fungus that can wipe out entire fields. I mean, it was the whole package. But, nothing perfect lasts forever. Over the years, things started to go wrong. Seeds from other, weaker plants got mixed in, its legendary rust resistance started to fade, and the whole field became what scientists call a heterogeneous population. Basically, it wasn't one reliable crop anymore. It was just a messy, unpredictable mix of good plants and bad ones. So how do you fix this mess? You might think you need some high-tech lab with gene editing and all that, right? Well, the solution is actually way simpler, super elegant, and it's been hiding in plain sight for all of human history. Yeah, this is not some new invention. The moment the very first farmer looked at their plants and decided, you know what, I'm going to save the seeds from that really good one, they were practicing mass selection. It is quite literally the foundation of all plant breeding. So what is it? Mass selection is all about choosing the best plants just by looking at them. That fancy term, phenotypic superiority, is just a sciencey way of saying it looks the best. Think of it like being a talent scout for plants. You walk the fields, you find the tallest, healthiest, most amazing-looking ones, and you say, yep, your seeds are coming with me for next year's crop. Okay, so we've got the problem, and we've got the ancient solution. So let's see how modern plant breeders actually put mass selection into practice to rescue our star wheat, AUK 2019. Now, this isn't a quick fix. It's a really careful, multi-year plan. It all starts with selection, finding the best of the best. Then you move into testing, proving they're actually the best. And you finish with validation to make absolutely sure they're the best no matter where you plant them. Let's break it down. So year one is all about having a really good eye. Breeders literally walk through those messy, contaminated fields and handpick hundreds, sometimes thousands, of individual plants that still look like that original perfect AUK 2019. You start with that jumbled, inconsistent field, and through that careful, patient selection, you isolate only the elite plants, the ones that have all the good stuff you're looking for. You take their seeds, mix them all together, and that big pile of seeds becomes your hope for the next generation. All right, year two, this is where the rubber meets the road. It's time to find out if all that careful selection actually paid off. You plant the seeds from your champion plants to see if they can really outperform the old, contaminated version. It's their first big test. So how's this test work? Well, it's a proper controlled experiment. In one plot, you plant your newly selected seeds. Then, right next to them, you plant what are called check cultivars, which are just the standard, normal varieties. The goal is super simple. Your selected seeds have to do better than the baseline. They have to prove they're superior. Now, if the seeds pass that test in year two, and that's a big if, they move on to the finals. For the next 3 years, they get planted in lots of different places, with different soils and different weather. This is to make 100% sure their great performance wasn't a fluke. It proves the rescued variety is stable, reliable, and ready for farmers everywhere. After all that, 5 years of work, you might be wondering, why stick with this simple, old-school method? The answer is, well, it's pretty straightforward. Because it works. And this is what it's all for. You go from a messy, unreliable field to a pure, uniform, high-performing crop. By going back to this fundamental technique, those valuable traits of AUK 2019 are brought back to life, and that secures one more small but really important piece of our global food supply. And this whole thing leaves us with a really fascinating thought, doesn't it? In our world of CRISPR and crazy advanced genetics, what is the role of a technique that's basically just having a good eye? Well, the amazing thing is, this ancient wisdom isn't being replaced, it's actually what makes all the modern stuff possible. You can't gene edit a plant until you have a fantastic one to start with. And mass selection is still the best tool we have to find those elite plants, reminding us that the future of food is, and always will be, built on a foundation that's thousands of years old.